The new Hardins Creek Frankfort is out, and we are going to try it today, compare it to the Claremont. These are 17-year-old Jim Beam products that are just aged in different places. So there's supposed to be a lot of different flavor. We haven't tried it yet, so I'm excited to get into it. Let's see how it goes. Hi friends, I'm Laura, he's Troy, we're Baker Drinks, and we're trying some old Jim Beam today. We've got the Hardins Creek Frankfort. This one is 17 years old, just like the Claremont. It is aged at the Frankfort location, as you can tell by the name. So this location is supposed to be more humid and cooler, I believe. I believe that's what I read. Let's see if it says in this little book.
I'll let you figure that out while I save you from struggling to open this.
Let's see what it says.
So I think it's aged 204 months or something like that.
Whatever 17 years is in months.
Yeah, it's darn near an adult.
Real close. 55% alcohol. Okay, so Kentucky series. So Frankfort. Welcome to Frankfort, the second of 3 special releases within our Kentucky series. The creek bed at Frankfort campus changes things. The water rises in the warm Kentucky air to wrap the trees and the storied rackhouses in a blanket of humidity, making everything slow. It's good for the whiskey. It ages at its own pace with little ventilation and a lot of time, giving the whiskey a delicate floral flavor with a finish of aged oak, a hue of deep burnished amber, and all the sweetness of caramel and dried fruit. Made slow to enjoy in your own good time. Legacy is always in the making. So,
What a mouthful.
out of breath. That was a lot.
Sounds like you might need a drink.
I think so. Wow, that. I don't know if you can. We are way too far away from the camera for you to really get that, but
Yeah.
there is a good color on that. But I'd expect it. It's 17 years old.
And you showed the glass to the camera.
I didn't fingerprint it too bad yet. I mean, I did fingerprint it, but I need to learn to grab from the bottom and not just grab at the top.
Cheers.
My greasy fingers. Wow, that smells amazing.
Yeah, so
Wow,
lots and lots and lots of super sweet oak.
definitely.
I don't know about you, but I don't get the nuttiness that I typically get off a Beam.
I think the main note is that sweet oak.
Yeah.
You know, it kind of gets a little dustiness to it, but in a good way.
And you said this was the second of 3.
Yes, so Boston will be the third.
Boston, and that's supposed to come out this month, I think, September?
I have no idea. We can just say September if you want, but that's probably on the East Coast because for some reason Jim Beam products take a lot longer to get to our area.
Wow.
Okay, so this, trying to talk. It's very difficult to talk when it's still going.
It's like super viscous. It's like just coating my mouth.
Yeah, I started talking and then I was like choking on my own spit. So
I'm salivating.
I couldn't keep going with that. Okay, so this, off the first sip alone, is definitely for people that enjoy a well-aged flavored bourbon. There is a lot of age on this, a lot of that oak. Sweet. It's sweet. It's very sweet. There's not bitterness at all. It's great. It's balanced.
Yeah.
But you have to like that flavor because that is a very strong aged oaky sweetness.
I don't feel like it's as oaky as like the Elijah Craig 18 or the Knob Creek 18.
See, I would love to compare that to the Elijah Craig 18. Although I feel like it'd be hard to because their proof is different. Because this is what 110?
This is 110 and that's like 94.
Yeah.
But still, I don't get that bitterness, that it's not over oaked. I don't feel like I'm chewing on a tree branch.
No, it's not. It's not bitter, but it is like that's the predominant flavor.
Sure, but in a good way.
Yeah.
This is aging done right.
It's fantastic. What's the price on this?
I mean, out the door, you're probably looking at around $200.
Is that in Washington or like?
That's in Washington.
Okay, well, our taxes are really expensive here.
I want to say it's like high 160s in the rest of the country.
Well, that's what I was going to guess based on 200 out the door. Yeah, so it's not a cheap bottle. It's not crazy compared to other bottles. It's at the, I would say, where the high-end whiskeys tend to be priced. So, like the Four Gates are $200. I think they're actually more than this.
Well, I think the typical rule of thumb in the whiskey world is about $10 for every year of age.
And you're getting 17 years for $160. So you're getting a good deal on this.
Yeah, and that 160, it's like 160 to 200. I'm sure it's more in some places, but that's probably going to be about the average around the country in the wild. Secondary, who knows what they're going to ask for it.
I don't know that I've even seen these on secondary. I think people...
I've not looked, but I'm assuming they're out there.
I think people... this price point doesn't go as quickly on shelves. If they show up, it's not like it's gone the day it shows up, usually. But this is... I mean... This is one that you got to take time with.
Yeah, so I still have the flavor in my mouth, and I've not taken a sip for a couple minutes. Yeah. You know, I feel like with that Knob Creek 18, I might as well have turned around and licked this barrel.
Yeah, I wasn't a huge fan of that one.
You know,
it was more expensive. I think I paid $220 for that one.
Yeah, and that was a lot of people's in the running for Whiskey of the Year last year. Our Elijah Craig 18, you know, and they're single barrels, but I felt like it stood up a little bit prouder than that Knob Creek did. Shall we compare it to the Claremont, which was the first release in this series? This is Claremont, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I think we should, but I mean, I really have nothing bad to say about this bottle.
I want to mix them up.
It looks good to me. I know some people, we had some comments before about the labeling, that they thought it was kind of cheesy looking or something like that, but I think it's great. I like the leather strap. I like the heavy metal cork.
Yeah, and they're consistent across their line.
I mean, they have, I'm a little confused why they went with the cheap cardboard box, where last year with the 15-year, they got a metal tin.
That couple extra years, probably to keep it priced comparably, they had to go to cardboard versus tin. I don't know.
Which is fine, because really we don't
didn't have a box.
We don't. Yeah, well, good point. But we don't need all these boxes, so I'm okay that they could save us another couple dollars and get rid of the box altogether, and I'd be okay with that too. And this
Claremont.
is Claremont. I'm gonna just smell them next.
I think I like the nose a little better on the Claremont.
The Claremont almost smells like smoky.
I got a little cherry on the Claremont that I didn't get on the other, but I think the palate on the Frankfort is a little better for me.
Yeah, there is a little fruitiness. Mm-hmm. Again, these pours are not drying. They're making my mouth salivate so much that it's really hard to talk because I'm having to swallow so much. But
yeah, so for me personally, the nose is slightly better on the Claremont because it's got a little bit of a fruity element, and the Frankfort is more of an oaky, sweet nose. But I like the palate on the Frankfort slightly better than the palate on the Claremont. But it is the same distillate, aged the same amount of time, just in different locations.
I think I'm going to give it all to Frankfort.
Are you?
I think I like the nose and the palate better. They both have a pretty good finish. I'm going to go Tide on that.
Sure.
But So it's weird. I love fruity whiskeys, like Buffalo Trace fruity, like that really fruity stuff. And then I like, my second favorite thing would be really sweet oak flavors. And the cherry sweetness that I'm getting off of this isn't enough for it to go over the sweet oak. So that's why I'm going with that one. They're both a great experience.
Yeah. I mean, if you can only find one of these...
And it's in your price range, whew.
Yeah, I wouldn't pick one over the other. They're both fantastic. So, you know, don't be sad about missing out on one if you can only find one.
Well, that too. I mean, we're getting differences because we're having them at the same time.
Yeah.
If we were having them separate, I might not notice so much of a difference because there's a lot of similarities.
Yeah.
Obviously, same, but this one is just more my palate preference. So if you prefer cherry, go with the Claremont. And like I said, there's still, it's like a hint of cherry. It's not,
yeah, and I only
there's still
picked
like
that up.
Sweet oak.
Yeah,
I got a little on the palate.
Did
too.
you? I only picked it up on the nose. I should have another sip.
For science. It's like a hint.
Yeah, so it's definitely got a little bit of fruit on the palate. I should have another sip of this one too then.
Yeah, I'll read what Jim Beam put about it. So it says the nose, delicate oak wood with hints of campfire and cigar box. Great.
And who wrote that?
This is the Jim Beam.
Oh, I thought you said Jim Beam wrote that.
Jim Beam Distillery.
Okay.
The
I think Jim Beam's dead.
The Jim Beam Company wrote
I'm
this.
picking up what you're putting down.
I don't know who specifically wrote it. Someone that is unknown.
Some
unnamed.
marketing person.
Exactly. Nose, delicate oak wood with hints of campfire and cigar box. Palate, concentrated sweet caramel and raisin with gentle floral tobacco. I don't know that I got raisin. I'm going to have to go back to that.
I definitely appreciate that tobacco element, though.
Yeah, I do too.
Mm-hmm.
And then finish sweet oak and aged wood tones. So as you're hearing, it's similar to what we were saying. There is a lot of wood, sweet wood notes to this. It's very balanced. It's, again, very sweet, but it's very heavy on that flavor. So you have to appreciate that flavor to appreciate this bottle. And I mean, we do like that flavor.
Yeah, for sure.
So
it just adds layers of complexity to the pour.
Well, I don't need to ramble on and
No,
on about this. You got my point. I love it.
Yeah.
We're happy we got it. We'll probably keep getting these Hardins Creek if they keep putting them out.
Anyways.
Thank you for watching. If you like this content, we've got more coming out. And join us on our live streams. Cheers.
Cheers.
That's freaking good.
Yes, it is.